everyone, on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome once again to Mindalia live streaming. Today we are being joined by Betty Mendoza. The space that we are about to start is called Breathwork, Emotions and Awareness. Betty Mendoza is an astrologist. She is an inner transformation expert, rebirthing practitioner for 25 years. I just want to briefly remind you that if we are Mindalia.com, an international nonprofit organization, and that you can help us with very simple acts. Just like this video, subscribe to our channel, leave us a positive comment every time you interact with us in the webs, in the internet. You help us reach as much people in the planet as possible. It is my pleasure now to leave the screen to Betty Mendoza. Betty, my pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome to Mindalia once again, this time in English. The screen is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mirna. Thank you so much. It's my first time in English, yes.
Quite an effort that we're making, Betty, in order to bring content that we find valuable. Thank you for taking this step, for being brave enough. It is a great challenge for me. Every time I do this, it is a great challenge. I struggle to make it happen, and let's rock and roll. Let's make it happen.
Thank you. Let me know when I can start to...
Yeah, you can start anytime now.
Perfect. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being there for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to try to be in my center. It's my first time in English, not in English for other topics, but yes, in this topic is my first time. It's my favorite topic. I am Betty Mendoza. I am rebirthing professional since 25 years ago. I'm an astrologer, and my goal, my mission in life is to help people to find themselves. And I use wonderful, strong, and really connect tool as is breathwork, conscious connected breathing. And what is breathing? What is breathing? Conscious connected. It's a powerful, safe, and gentle technique for release stuck or stores emotion in your nervous system and in your body. It's a little sad to say since we get conscious that we are ourselves, we start to repress the breathing. Why we do that? Because we try to, in order to survive, we try to adapt ourselves, feel more pertinence. And along with the life, we want to repress it more and more. That cause that we have in all body that we call something that we call cellular memories. We have that since our head until our toe in the feet. The whole body charging with cellular memory, with emotions that we repress, but because we can't handle it. I go to the point that we are made as God imagined, right? We just know how to handle love and good sentiment. We don't know, and our body is not designed to handle traumas, shame, pain, suffering, mourning, repressed, anger, resentment. We are not designed to handle that. Like when we eat something that is not good food, and we get poison, we need to let that go. If we can't, we get sick. Our body, our cellular memory is kind of sick with beliefs, false belief, limiting thought. When we do rebirthing, that we call rebirthing in 16s, or conscious connected breathing, as I call it in this conference, we learn how release all those limiting thoughts. Um, the benefit of conscious connect breathing is we refresh the vital energy. Everything in life is energy in different time and velocity or acceleration. Love, this computer, everything is energy. Tangible and intangible. We became tangible from intangible things. And what this conscious connected breathing do? Refresh the vital energy of the body and uncover and release limiting thought patterns. Clean the circulatory and nervous system, purify and balance the human aura, release stress, anxious, give us more grounding, give us deeper connection to our intuition. And how is the process of healing? Because finally this kind of breathing produce transformation. When I say breathing, my state of mind go to transformation. When we start breathing process or breathing cycle or breathing session in group or individual, we start transforming process, because when we change the breathing, we change our life. And I used to say, when I say somebody lay down to breathe, I used to see how the person is, because I see the way that the person is repressing her breathing or their breathing. And when you start to breathing, you can lie to yourself, you can lie to the process, because you're just going to do something natural, which is breathing. And start the recognizing, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, it's like I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want to yawn, I want to sleep, I want to eat. It's like part of the sabotage, because the high self know this is no funny technique. This is like this technique go to the middle of the process. That's why I love reverting or breathwork connecting breathing, because I consider it's the most powerful tool that I've been using in life for me, because I used first for me, because I used to looking for a sense in life or healing or a sense of my inner questions or my inner feeling to other dimension or my emotion, and I found and I looking for church, psychoanalysis, psychiatry, psychology, gestalt psychology, everything. When I found this, I really get connect, because I realized breathwork, connective breathing, don't put me a label, don't define me, just let me be. And this is what is rebirthing. You have the opportunity to recognize how you've been trying to be vulnerable, because we have a lot fear to be vulnerable. And sometimes we think, oh, I am like this because my mom, or like I get by inheritance, or because it's genetically, or because I have to be like this because life is in this wave and I have to confront life. But the truth is, we are like this because we have the more biggest fear is being ourselves, being loved, and be served or serve other. And when you do breath work, you realize where are you trying to hide yourself, how you try to hide yourself, professionally or in your mom roles or your dad role for in your work or in your victimization role. We get anything, any tool to hide ourselves to don't be who really we are. And when you do breathwork connective breathing, you can escape from yourself. And all those patterns that you have stored in your cellular memory in your body, you start to uncover, you start to recognize, oh, but I think I am not good enough. And you know what? Every pattern that you have is because you have the opposite. The opposite. If you think you are not good enough, it's because you're super good and more than enough person. But in some way or your life, in some moment, you get the pattern or the fear or somebody didn't trust in the gift that you are super enough. You know those kind of people who can do everything. The mostly people that you said she is super efficient or he is super good in everything, those people, ironically, they have the thought that they are not good enough. You know, this is why, because our essence is formed by our virtues, our gift, our qualities. When somebody don't recognize our essence, is because they don't recognize our gift. It's like they pointing, they hurt our essence, that is our gift, and we just flip or we cover because we don't want to be hurt in our gift because it's like our connection with God and with ourselves. And this is when start the change to be ourselves. This is when we start to cover and be not vulnerable. And I don't know if people remember the age of 80 and 90. People have the modality to don't show my sentiments, don't show emotions. In this country, more than others, it's like you have to be mental person, control person. It's exactly the opposite that give us the happiness. And now I'm so happy because with this Uranus in Aquarius, we have a new age, really new age time to open ourselves to our inner being, and to the universe, and to everybody, because this is time to really share as human being. And the first thing is be vulnerable. And with rebirthing, I don't know other tool more powerful than gentle, powerful, and cover yourself. And I want to explain also a little bit how is a session of rebirthing or breathwork connective breathing. One session could be in group or could be individual, can get approximately from 45 minutes to close to 2 hours, maybe more. Um, Principle, the first session is going to be longer. And you just close your eyes. You don't need to think, oh, this is kind of force experience, or no, it's just breathing, connecting inhalation with exhalation of the cycle of life, and all the cycles in life is just connecting inhalation with exhalation, because we learn to make big pause between inhalation and exhalation, like something like this circle, go, 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 and again breathing. And when we start to rescue the natural breathing between inhalation and exhalation, we connect with our own rhythm in our body, in our mind, in our emotion. We connect with more balance. That's why people say, I get more intuition. Of course, when we breathe in this rhythm, we are breathing in our natural rhythm. Uh, Other thing about this breathing is the level of purification that give it to us. It's the 70%. When you breathing correctly, you are purifying your body, your your aura, your chakras, your organs, and 70%. You could be an sport professional Olympic, and you don't going to release or purify more than 15%. You can go um, for evacuation or pee, and you're going to eliminate no more than 7% of the toxins of our body. When you make breathing, you eliminate 70 to 75%. That's why it's super important um, learn how breathing, or just put attention. I don't say you have to do breathing process, but put attention in your breathing and bring the breathing to your lung, because sometimes we learn to breathing in abdomen, to the abdomen, but this is more for martial arts, control mind. But if you want to find yourself, if you want to breathe correctly, just breathe into your lung. It's the natural organs for breathing. Okay, and you can do single session. You can open a cycle. What is a cycle of breathing? First, let me explain something. This kind of breathing is from 16. The Leonard Orr is the man who connect with this breathing, and he create groups. And now, since that, thousands of people around the world are making this kind of transformational breathing. And Leonard Orr, he died last year at 90 something years old, and he was the creator. He was breathing in water with a snorkel and the clip, and he was trying to do the breathing, connecting inhalation with exhalation, and he connect with kind of imaging that he remembered in that moment, how when he born, he feel or he connect with feeling that the nurse reject him. And when he went out the water, when he finished the session, he realized that's why the same kind of feeling that he um, feel was feeling with woman in his life. And in that moment, he create this kind of functional um, breathing. Like he recognized it's not just to connect, to do prana, to do meditation. He recognized, oh, I can do healing pattern through this kind of breathing. And it's born what we call now connected breathing, conscious connected breathing. He and he opened like schools and university, and when you do the cycle of breathing, the reverter, the practitioner, if you open a cycle, he's going to help you, she's going to help you with some really, really healing process and topic that is birth trauma. Is, the moment when you're born, and it's like the beginning of your life, and how you connect, how was the impact when you're born. And when you start a cycle, one of the sessions you're going to work with that. You're going to work with personal life, which is the principle or main pattern, negative pattern that you use to sabotage your life. Also, you're going to work deep with forgiveness therapy and affirmation. Life purpose is another interesting topic. And the principle that we work in breathwork is the creative thought. We learn how use and how much is important to believe we create our thought and we can transform our thought. And it's not just to say we can create everything because we wish and we thinking too much in something. It's be brave and that energy that we want to have something like you say, I want a guy who loves me and take care of me and protect me. But you don't have that guy inside of you, because you have another pattern inside of you. When you work with breathing, you can start to breathe, to be brave in that energy where you feel you deserve that person in your life. It's not just the mental process, it's more integrative process in your life. When we have a breathing session in group, it's really, really helpful because it's magical when you do this kind of breathing because you can recognize in others the pattern that maybe you are not ready to recognize in you. It's more friendly, it's more sweet. Sometimes you can recognize your mom. Sometimes you can recognize your sister or your other, your last husband, or, it's like you can recognize the pattern to others because you get in real sweet, vulnerable. What more I admire of this breathing technique is create more compassion. It's more simplicity. It's like, it's just breathing. Be humble, be open to recognize you came here to be happy, to joy, to manifestate yourself from your gifts. You don't came here to demonstrate others what you do, what you have. And then really help us to see we have to be in order to have and you have to recognize first than anything else than have properties, have a job, work, money. You have to be first, and this is which this process gets more profound when you do this kind of breathing. Okay, I have some topic. I have 25 years doing this, and it's like part of my life. It's like not super familiar for me to speak about this. It's more to practice this, to help people to connect with this. And okay, we live as we breathe. When you change your breathing, you transform your life. You become who really you are. When we connect with emotions that are not love, we just block. It's automatically reaction. When you see something that you like, somebody who came to scare you or steal you, you don't say, "Oh, come to me." You say, "Oh my God," right? We block because we are not made of that energy. Our inner self don't know how process that. It's different when you remember something good, like your first kiss, the first time that your baby walk, you get like natural. It's because our inner self say, I want that, I am that. And we have all those memories stored in our life waiting to we can release it. And when we release it, we can be more open to enjoy, to be more strong, to have more intuition, to manifest our life more in our more free, more from our freedom. And it's like you feel free to express. You feel like you can be vulnerable, and the vulnerability makes you strong. Because this is like false belief that the vulnerability makes you weak. It's the opposite. When you get the vulnerability and you feel what they are for you, you get strong. You get more expressive. Okay. And okay, thank you for hear me. I hope you can be more conscious about breathing, and I just recommend be conscious. When you take a deep breathing or you're conscious about breathing, you are there present. If you want to be present, just take a breathing. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty, for sharing with us your knowledge. It's been a great pleasure. Can you hear me well? Yes? That's perfect. We're gonna go with a couple of questions as we've been listening to your content and to all the explanations you've given us. I guess it's a good time to ask a couple of things that you will be able to clarify, I'm pretty sure. The first question would be, what are we looking for? You've been in this healing world, helping people achieve so many goals. Mostly when someone approaches you, when someone starts a path of growth, what do you think is that common denominator of what we are looking for? Modern humans living in this society, it's very fast, so much speed and so much stress. What's that we're looking for?
The more what people looking for is liberate traumas, liberate limitation. In these last 3 years, people coming for anxious panic attacks because they try another conventional technique or tools, and they came looking for also for partners, for love, because I felt my relationship, or my last husband or wife was no good, but they found the truth. It's like you attract what you need to learn. But there are the three more common, traumas, abuse, and love. Also the professional part, like I don't go forward, I'm stuck in the same position. Yes, they are the more common.
That's very interesting. And you mentioned anxiety. We live in a world that is constantly bombarding us with information that is telling us you are in danger. There's something horrible happening around you. You should be aware. Well, awareness is always a good thing, but what I'm trying to say is that probably we're being fed with way more stress than what's really out there. What would you recommend is the best breathing pattern to cope with anxiety?
Okay, then the anxiety came because you put in your attention in the future or in the past. Like what I did maybe was not good, and I feel guilt, and I can't solution anything in the past. And in the future, okay, I don't want to have money. Maybe I don't want to have this job, or and that cocktail, past, future, that no make you living in the present. And the more wonderful thing that all the yogis and people working in spiritualities to be present. When you say, okay, let me stop, let me take a deep breath, and let me just control my attitude, because the only what we have under control, the only thing is our attitude. You cannot control the circumstance, you cannot control your family, you cannot control, you are able to control your attitude in present. This is my more recommendation. Just take a deep breath, accept your anxious, don't fight, because you want to have two problems, anxious and fight with yourself. Embrace yourself, take a deep breath and say, okay, I have to be present. I have to accept this. This is for me the first step. Sounds simple, but doing is going to open different feelings of you,
The awareness, the self-observation of the feelings that we are having on a daily basis.
Exactly.
We tend to actually like distract ourselves, do whatever possible in order to look somewhere else. Like, let's fill it with music, let's fill it with a show, let's fill it with going out with friends. But we very rarely have the habit of, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to have the courage of looking inside and seeing what is that rock in my shoe that is bothering me, that regardless of what I do, it's still there. I want to know what is the value, for example, when we are doing self-observation exercises. Compassion, for example, do you incorporate that self-compassion?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to say that when you was speaking is but it's not from your mind. In my experience, the compassion came with the present and surprised you. You don't say, I have to be, you can say, and maybe you can do something, I want to be more compassion. But when you are surrender to your vulnerability and you say, I need help, something's wrong with me, not me, but something inside me is wrong. And you open and you're looking for help or book or therapists or friends, and you are conscious, in any moment you're going to connect with the compassion. Somebody going to say the word, somebody going to make a movement in face, and you're going to connect. It's really untouchable, the compassion to manipulate. Like, you need just to surrender yourself, look up, accepting there's something that you need to change. And the compassion start coming until you see in front of you, oh my God, I need to be more compassionate with myself,
One of the exercises that I like to do when it comes to the self-observation is being able to laugh, to giggle a little bit about myself and about my own situations. Do you think that's also something that can be done, that can be practiced in order to maybe take the burden of how scary it is to look within?
Yeah, you say the word, yeah. Self-observation is that the really one step. And when I observe myself, and I has to be open, this is my recommendation, and I feel anger, or I feel uncomfortable, or I feel less shame or angry, just say, what is moving inside me? What is this feeling? And recognize the feeling. Because sometimes we camouflage feeling, or, oh, I'm so angry, I'm upset. And mostly the feeling that you are experiencing, or you believe you're experiencing, is not the feeling. I need to take water because I'm upset. Maybe what you feel is fear. Maybe you feel resentment and something pushed the resentment. Maybe you feel sadness, and it's beautiful to have sadness because it's super healing feeling. But you cover because you have to be not vulnerable. You can show your feelings. But I recommend be be open to yourself to say what is moving in my stomach or in my heart or in my head. Why I'm upset? What is this feeling? I think this is the first step to be honest, emotional honest. Something I really value and looking for is emotional honesty. It's not like I'm not honest, it's just I'm being honest with myself in conscious, unconscious, of course. It's not something that you do conscious. And I think this is really help. Mm-hmm.
Betty, thank you. You've been doing this for 25 years. It is easy
Yes.
to say 25 years, but come on, there must be a lot of information, a lot of stories that you can share. Is there any favorite story, any transformation story that you would like to share with us today?
Oh yes, I have some, but what coming to my mind is a person who asking me for a cycle super quickly. I was coming from Venezuela to United States and I didn't have time, but I did it. And she was really correct all the day she came. And she was working with a doctor that the doctor was really bad person with her and she was super unhappy. And but she was kind of passion person, and she started to breathe it, and she connect with dance that I really love for dance, but she didn't used to dance, and she remember breathing the reason why she never tried to be dancer, and she connect with her mom. Her mom used to sell her body and used to be dancer, and she forgot that totally. She just remember a memory when she was little girl, and she just blocked that. And when I came here, I had here like 8 months. She finished the cycle, and she uncovered her passion. When I get here, she sent me CDs that she made dancing, kind of Olga Tañón. I say, oh my God, that dancer can make you because it's like you are better than her. And she opened academy, dancer school classes, and she totally transformed her life. She didn't need any more the job, but it was wonderful breakout and healing process. I have several process, but this is what I just remember when you asking me for.
Probably we would be able to fill a full hour if we wanted to hear all the stories that you have.
Oh
Um,
yes, oh yes, yes,
Thank
yes,
you
yes.
for collaborating with us in this time in English. It's a great pleasure to be with you. As we end
Thank you.
this space, we reach the end of our conversation. What are your closing thoughts, Betty?
What if what?
What are your closing thoughts? What do you want to leave us with?
Okay, I want to leave saying just be present with your breath. Just remember, if you want to be present, just take a deep breath and you wanna be there.
Thank you. In the now.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure spending the now with you and with the people that have been with us during this time as well. Before leaving, I just want to remind you we are Mindalia.com, an international nonprofit organization, and that you can collaborate with us by liking, subscribing, following us in our different social media. Every time you get in contact with us in the web, you help us reach as much people in the planet as possible. All our heart and gratitude goes out to you, and we will meet again pretty soon in the next Mindalia live streaming. Bye bye.